Hey ladies and gentlemen, this is Ryan with RBT, and we are going to be reaffixing the glass and the fitting in this 10,000 load unit. First things first is, I think we're going to replace the glass. So we'll do the glass second, and we'll do the 510 fitting end first. If your 510 fitting spins or wiggles with it hooked to the mod, if you just bring it out just so far, about a 1/4 inch. Alright, so this is standard 5-minute epoxy. This is a Loctite brand, but pretty much any 5-minute Loctite will work. 3M or DevCon or Gorilla Glue even. It's just care in the application is required really with all 2-part epoxies. So you just put in equal parts of each of the compounds onto a non-permeable piece of plastic. This is actually just a FedEx mailer. Sorry, FedEx. And then you just want to thoroughly mix the epoxy. The main thing with epoxy is to thoroughly mix it. These are two chemicals that are coming together to basically chemically form a strong plastic material with adhesion properties. So if the two chemicals are not thoroughly mixed, you won't get a proper cure and therefore a proper bond. Cure times will be excessively long and the bond will be weak. So you'll sense an odor as the reaction's happening, and you'll also see the material itself start to create some bubbles, start to develop a milky color from that reaction. Once you have your epoxy thoroughly mixed, you're ready to apply it. What you do here is clean all of the adhesive off the stick. Put only a small half-piece size dab, he said dab, the end of the stick, and then as you touch the stick to the fitting, you rotate both the fitting and the stick, which applies the right amount of adhesive. You'll do this twice at each half, on each half of the fitting typically. So with a sufficient amount of adhesive applied, firmly press it in. Have some dry paper towels ready in little bits to remove any of the excess that is found its way out. You do want to see some squeeze through so that you know that you're completely covering the inside and the gap between the wood and the fitting. So once you complete wiping it off with a dry wipe, immediately, since this is 5-minute epoxy and it'll dry in minutes, apply some isopropyl to another small piece of paper towel. It's not so that it's soaking, but so that it's thoroughly damp. And then once again, clean the base of the fitting, Make sure we don't have any residual epoxy. Okay, that completes that side. Normally you don't need to fully remove the glass from your splinter. If you do, such as this, you can clean it with isopropyl. If it's a repair, the adhesive that's on there, it's fine to be on the glass, and the adhesive is fine to be on the wood. Just reapply the adhesive over the old adhesive, and then make the assembly. The only issue with reassembly, if the glass comes fully out, you have to ensure that the mica and the heater are centered upon reassembly. We're using the same trick with just a half piece size dab of adhesive. On one side of the stir stick, we'll apply the adhesive as we rotate the stick, ensuring coverage. We rotate and rotate while sitting. Now with the adhesive applied, we double check to make sure that our mica hasn't slipped out to the edge, and such that we're able to get the glass completely down over the heater. Sometimes you may need to just wiggle it slightly, and when it's in, you want to just turn it a few degrees as you're setting it down in solidly, such that the adhesive is able to evenly spread out. Pressing it firmly will ensure that it's back in place. Again, we take some dry paper towels, do a quick wipe with dry, and then a quick wet wipe, and then we're all set to go. As an added precaution, at the factory here, we use a clamp at times to ensure that the parts are seated. Thanks for tuning in and watching on how to repair your splinter.